Hey folks, Jiminy Critic here again with you to do a movie review for you of the movie called The Wolfman. The Wolfman is out and about right now, scaring folks up, and as you know, one of the classic Wolfman movies came from 1941, starring Lon Chaney Jr., and that is still probably my favorite Wolfman movie. There's been a number of Wolfmans since that point. Yeah, well, they have reinvented this movie, if you will. From Universal Studios, the ones that put out all those horror movies back in those days, has done this movie. It's directed by Joe Johnston, who has done other movies like Hidalgo. Maybe you enjoyed that one. Jurassic Park #3 was directed by him. This movie is rated R, and for good reason. Not so much for language as for the violence and the bloodletting. I guess one thing I'll say about this movie is it certainly uses a lot of CGI effects to make the wolf creature, of course. And, you know, there's a couple of heads ripped off and there's entrails spewed out. And this time you don't just kind of get to use your imagination for these things. They're shown in quite literal red, all their red glory on the screen. So that's one thing to watch out for here. Rick Baker, by the way, a very famous Hollywood effects producer, did the effects for this movie. Takes place in Victorian era Britain. About 1891 is where this movie starts. And here's some of the stars in the movie. The Wolfman. Benicio del Toro, of course, plays Lawrence Talbot, the main character. Anthony Hopkins plays his father, Sir John Talbot. Emily Blunt is Gwen Conliffe, the fiancée of Benicio's brother who was to be married. And then Hugo Weaving plays Aberlone. Lawrence Talbot, Benicio's character, has to come back to England. He's been in America for a while, away from the family, and he hears something about a horrible death of his brother, by a wolf, by some creature. They're not exactly sure what, but he comes back home to kind of find out what's happening, of course, for the funeral and other things like that. Well, while he's visiting home, lo and behold, just like in the regular story, this creature's out and about, and it doesn't kill him or rip him to shreds, but in some scene there in the movie, he gets bitten by this creature, this wolfen thing that gets in and out of the scene fast, and all of a sudden, as you know, when the moon is full, he turns into this raging beast. And I gotta say, to give Rick Baker some credit here, you see some of those effects take place. And I have to say, very good job on the effects. They look creepy, they look scary, they're very well done, very professional. But here's the difference where I still like that 41 movie better than this new one. For me, the story just didn't have enough, I don't know, the tone or the heart of the story just didn't work for me. To me, Benicio del Toro as this Lawrence Talbot character just seemed to have a one note, other than when he was the beast and ripping people apart and, creating bloodshed and mayhem all over the Glen, so to speak. When he was just in his normal manly appearance, he sort of had a one-note acting experience. He looked like he had the same pained expression on his face most of the time. It didn't seem to, I don't know, for some reason the story didn't seem to trouble him greatly, that when he finds out about what his legacy is and what he's become and what's going to have to happen, when he finds out about his father, played by Anthony Hopkins, who is just a nut in this movie. There's a couple of humorous scenes with him, actually, and what he has to do and act. So, The Wolfman, great CGI effects, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of guts and gore. If you like that kind of thing, that is in this movie. But as far as for the storyline, I'm still sticking with Universal's 1941 feature, The Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney Jr. You'll have to check out The Wolfman and decide for yourself. That was for you, Mike.